There are some truly beautiful creatures on the planet, with features that have evolved over millions of years. Although some animals have become natural works of art, it's often beneath the skin where the true masterpieces lie. In today's video, we will take a look at 20 of the most amazing animal skeletons in the world. Make sure you stick around until the very end of this video. Our top 3 picks will completely blow your mind. 20. The vampire bat. What's most interesting about a vampire bat's skull is that it looks exactly like its namesake, a vampire. When you strip away the big flower petal ears and leafy nose of the vampire bat, what you are left with is the Hollywood horror legend Nosferatu. What the vampire bat's skull lacks in size, it makes up for in creepiness. Imagine approaching a cloaked man inside of an old castle, and when he turns around, he looks like this. 19. The python. The skeleton of the python is the thing of nightmares. Its jaw splits into 2 parts so that it can easily separate to fit all of its prey into its mouth. Not that that's scary enough. Each of its teeth are razor sharp and deadly looking. It is believed that early man came up with the concept of the devil after seeing pythons and their ability to swallow large animals whole. After seeing the large scale of the serpent and the creepiness of the skeleton, can you really blame them? 18. The scorpion. The scorpion has one of the most compact and sturdy exoskeletal builds in the entire animal kingdom. Its thick legs carry its heavy skeletal body, tail, and stinger. Although the organic parts of the stinger eventually disappear, the majority of its large stinger tip remains. The thick bone links of its tail help its venom travel right to the tip, ready to slam it down onto its prey and inject its deadly poison. 17. The orangutan. Scientists believe that monkeys share 98.8% of our DNA. Well, after looking at the skeleton of the orangutan, you will certainly believe it. Looking alarmingly similar to our own skeletons, apart from the small, strangely shaped head, elongated fingers and toes, and arched spine, orangutan remains can easily be misidentified as human. The orangutan remains look quite creepy, but just wait until you see number 4 on our list. It may just inspire a nightmare or two. 16. The dolphin. The skeleton of the dolphin is so unusual and magnificent that it looks as if it could belong to a prehistoric beast or a mythical creature. This is predominantly down to the lack of bones in its tail and fin to make it lighter and more streamlined when traveling through the water. Like giraffe, hippopotamus, and wildebeest, dolphins evolved from land mammals from the artiodactyl group. This means that they would have evolved in such a way that slowly made limb bones disappear over millions of years. You won't be able to see dolphins the same way again after seeing such a bizarre monster-like skeleton. If you're finding this video fascinating, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and ring the notification bell. That way, you will receive a message every time a new video is uploaded. 15. The seahorse. The skeleton of a seahorse is a truly spectacular thing, boasting an intricate cage of weaved bones that curl down into a tail. Although the seahorse's skeleton looks like it would crumble into pieces with too much force, in actuality, its bones are extremely versatile. What makes the seahorse more fascinating is that they don't have scales. Instead, their thin skin is stretched over the bony plates to create an armor against predators. The seahorse once had ribs, but after many years of evolution, no longer needs them because of the bony rings running down its body. It's clear where its name comes from, having a skull that shares a similar shape to that of a horse, only much smaller. 14. The white-tailed deer. The white-tailed deer is a prime example of a creature whose skeleton looks nothing like the animal it came from. Its skull is far more defined and shaped than its regular soft rounded head. Its ribcage is spiked, unlike its saggy belly when alive. One huge notable difference is the tiny little tail of the skeleton, compared to the bushy one seen on the living counterpart. The most spectacular part of the whitetail skeleton is the antlers that curl upward like an unruly tree growing in the middle of a desert. Question time. Do you think that the whitetail's antlers are classed as bone or something else? Leave your answers in the comment section below and we will let you know if you have got it right. 13. The green iguana. The green iguana already looks incredible, with its stunning colors, spiky reptilian spines, and the head of what looks like a modern-day dinosaur. In death, the creature carries on looking fantastically unusual. It has long, flexible limbs with sharp claws on the ends, which are used for grabbing onto tree branches and digging for food. It also has an incredibly long tail that is even longer than its body span, and a ringed rib cage used to protect it from falls and predator attacks. It's clear from its bones that the green iguana still shares a lot of DNA with its dinosaur ancestors. 12. The red fox. Without knowing it belonged to the red fox, you probably wouldn't be able to guess what creature this alien-like skull belongs to. The reason for this is because of its rounded eye sockets and its enormous teeth that are usually hidden away within its furry little face. Because of the flexibility of the red fox, which is needed to maneuver down small holes in other tight spaces, its skeletal spine can still be bent with ease so it can be posed, much like that of a cat. If you saw the skeleton of the red fox, would you be able to guess what creature it belonged to? Tell us in the comment section below. 11. The crow. The skeleton of the crow is most definitely one of the coolest. Not only does it have plenty of bones that vary in shape and size, but they also retain the sharp black beak they had in life, looking as if it will open up at any minute to caw once again. Crows and their bones have had a long relationship with the supernatural and folklore for thousands of years, even being used in dark rituals. With its haunting skeletal appearance, is it any wonder that it is thought to have connections with the afterlife and the unknown? If you think the crow is a beautiful and intricate skeleton, just wait until you see our number 2 pick. It really does need to be seen to be believed. 10. The raccoon. Although raccoons are often seen as pests who enjoy rummaging through the trash, their skeletons are actually quite similar to our own, minus the elongated skull, of course. They have a very similar scapula, pelvis, toes, and fingers, although they are not identical, of course. What is most interesting about the raccoon is that its skull shape looks nothing like you would expect from its triangular-looking face in life. This is because the shape is formed by its bushy fur that is used to protect it from the elements. Fossils dating back 25 million years show that they once belonged to the weasel family before evolving and spreading across the globe. 9. The school shark. The skeleton of the school shark looks almost as terrifying as the animal when it is alive. Its spindly ribs protrude from its spine and connect to its fin bones in such a way that it looks like an unnatural mess. Its fins and nose look like sharp-boned daggers able to cut through anything, while its teeth look like a saw made up of small jagged teeth. Even without its beady eyes, the thick eye sockets left behind are even more ominous, wedged either side of its lumpy forehead. Are you enjoying the video so far? Show your support by hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. 8. Egyptian fruit bat. The Egyptian fruit bat has one of the most stunning sets of skeletal wings in the world. While the wings of birds have evolved in an intricate fashion to allow the creature to take flight, nothing compares to those of the Egyptian fruit bat. Not only do the bones stretch out incredibly far, but they split into 3 spines that bend down at its sides. Although these spines could be mistaken for the legs of a giant spider, it's in fact where its thinly webbed skin connects to make the canopy that allows it to fly. 7. The hippopotamus. The hippopotamus is the world's most dangerous creature to humans, killing an estimated 500 people per year in Africa. With its gigantic skull, crushing teeth, and sharp tusks, it's not hard to see why it's known as a killer. The thick ribs of the hippo leave almost no gaps for its internal organs to be punctured by another creature, especially one of its own kind. Its other bones look so chunky that it's unbelievable that the animal is able to walk and swim, not even taking into consideration their high quantity of fat and muscle. Can you believe that the hippopotamus is the deadliest creature in the world? If the answer is yes, then give this video a thumbs up. 6. The bullfrog. The bullfrog's skeleton looks far flatter than how it looks in life. This is because they often puff themselves up when they breathe, croak, and mate. Of course, in death, none of those functions are needed, leaving a hollow, light, and simple frame that would have once helped it hop around with ease. 5. The beaver. Not many people know that beavers are a type of rodent, and by taking a look at its skeleton, you can clearly see why. Their bones look extremely similar to those of rats, only having a shorter spine and being much larger in size. Also, the top fangs of a rat curl over its bottom jaw, while the beaver's 2 fangs meet perfectly together from both sides. Another major difference between the beaver and other smaller creatures is its feet. They've evolved to be webbed and fanned to help propel the creature through the water. 4. The gibbon. The skeleton of the gibbon looks like it has just walked straight out of a nightmare. Not only does its skull look permanently crazed, but its long arms stretch almost the entirety of its body, making it resemble the Slender Man, a horror meme that inspired many stories and games. Although a gibbon's skeleton is very similar to other apes, apart from the proportion of its arms, they are classed as lesser apes. The reason for this is because both genders appear incredibly similar, as well as the species not building nests to live in. The gibbons' long arms allow them to leap great distances and makes them the fastest and most agile of all tree-dwelling, non-flying mammals on the planet. Is the skeleton of the gibbon enough to give you nightmares? Let us know in the comments section below. It is now the part of the video where we take a look at our favorite image sent in by one of our subscribers. An image that inspired this entire video, in fact. These 3 skeletons are a prime example of how incredibly clever nature is, constantly evolving and adapting to cater to the needs of a specific animal. Before we take a closer look at the 3 beautiful creatures in today's subscribers pick, don't forget to subscribe to Forever Green. That way, you'll be able to reach out to us with an interesting or bizarre picture that could inspire our next video. 3. The Cobra. The cobra is as mesmerizing in death as it is alive. Although it loses the patterns on its large hood, it doesn't lose the long bones running through it. In fact, its skeleton holds its shape perfectly in death, with very little lost, apart from its skin, organs, and muscles. Its jaw is a very telling sign of how much it can expand to swallow its prey whole. Cobras are vertebrates, which means all their bones are actually vertebrae. The cobra can have anywhere between 200 to 400 vertebrates, which have the same amount of ribs attached to them. 2. The Iwasaki Snail Eater. The Iwasaki Snail Eater goes against the basic rule of skeletons, which is followed by most animals on the planet: symmetry. It has 16 teeth on the left side of its jaw and 24 on the right. The reason for this is quite clever, as it uses this odd set of teeth to spiral into the shell of a snail, curving along the inner walls of the shell, so the teeth can scoop it out without having to break or swallow its hardened exterior. 1. The Stingray. Even before its death, the yellow stingray acts like a ghost. It glides across the seafloor and vanishes into the sand, ready for its unsuspecting prey to get too close. When the stingray is ready to attack, it swings its poisonous barb until it can sting its target. After taking a close look at the hundreds of spines that make the incredible pattern of the stingray skeleton, you probably cannot believe that such a beautiful frame is hiding within a creature like the stingray. Because each spine is lightweight and thin, they can be easily waved to propel itself through the ocean. The barbed tail has a more concentrated area of quills, which allow them to penetrate and poison its prey. And that concludes our video showing you 20 of the most fascinating skeletons in the animal kingdom. Out of all the skeletons you've seen, which do you think is the most unbelievable? We would love to know in the comments section below. If you're not ready to stop watching fascinating content, you can head over to one of our other videos. Thanks for watching.